if you approach things with your passion and drive and love of something, whatever the greatest good of that is what will be. And I think we have to trust in that a little bit more than hunting down the thing that will give us the most success or exposure and stress ourselves out with hustling and all of these things. It's like, do what feeds your soul, do it to the best of your ability, do it well, educate yourself, take the steps, don't just dream, do the action that is needed. Like, you have to do the work is required. It's not just going to magically happen. Make the connections and let the rest fall into place. It's called go with the flow for a reason.
You are now listening to the Highlight Reel Builder for Authors, the Going North podcast. I'm your host, certified self-leadership trainer and author of the best-selling book, Stay the Course, Dom Brightman. And you're going to be getting some goodies today from the guest that's up next. Today's episode is sponsored by the GoingNorthPodcast.com shop. And we're back at you. We're giving some more new designs for some of the goodies. There's the podcast logo itself. We now have the Compass Shockwave going on, along with the Outread your competition to outlead your competition version 2, and the classic, not so classic, advance others to advance yourself. So check it all out on GoingNorthPodcast.com. Click on shop and check out all the gear. It comes in pins, t-shirts, mugs, hoodies, and you can even get different variations of the t-shirt. You get pre-washed and all the other good stuff indeed. So check it all out on GoingNorthPodcast.com/shop. And today on the Highlight Reel Builder for Authors, known as GMP, the Great, Glorious, and Glamorous. Might as well add gorgeous too, because we got a guest that fits all three of those G's indeed. Heck, oh wait, I guess I have to go back to counting school. All four of those G's. It's the Going North podcast, baby. That's right indeed. And we got a returning guest, so that means the first opportunity was freaking amazing and folks loved you the first time, so we had to bring her back again because today's guest in particular, international best-selling author, folks. That's right, international best-selling author who is a mom, a wife, a certified professional coach, and she's also the former president of the Sisters in Crimes at Central Jersey. And funny enough, she's actually a fellow INFJ as well, who loves to dream bigger than all of the wonderful elephants, all the benevolent elephants. So let's give it up for the kind and radiant Kristina Rienzi. How you doing today, Kristina?
Great. After that intro, I feel amazing. I was like, can't feel bad after that. Thank you. That made me sound really great. No, I'm doing good. I'm happy. All good, just every day taking it, with some gratitude and love and kindness and happiness, and just trying to do the best I can. That's all we can do.
Oh yeah, that's right. Especially when the mountains are involved,
Always
right,
are. They're always there. Got to climb them, top them, and come back down. That's how we learn and grow, right? Definitely.
Well, yeah, especially topping those mountains, Got to top them, Especially with that snow at the top, Yeah, with that thin air.
Yes, definitely. That's where the high comes from. Come on. Lack of oxygen. Feeling good. Gonna come back down to earth. But yeah, definitely. Always when you top, it's high. It's exciting. Got to struggle to get there, but we get there anyway. Keep going. Definitely.
So all the puns intended. That's what I'm talking about. That's right.
Absolutely.
Gotta get that high.
That's it. Climb that mountain. It works.
Oh,
Definitely
yeah.
works.
That's right. And speaking of work, I hear you've been still keeping yourself busier than ever, because now you got your first ever nonfiction book in the world. That's right, indeed. 5 Happy Choices.
Oh my goodness. Someone said to me, and I took it to heart, and I'm like, this is my motto. I don't let the grass grow under my feet, right? Like, it really is true. And I look back and go, like, what the heck? But I love it. I love being busy. I love writing. I love helping people. So yeah, 5 Happy Choices was a labor of love for me. Came from the heart, and it motivated me and inspired me to go on to further my education and go for my PsyD in health and wellness psychology, something I've wanted to do my whole life. But yeah, it's like, it's just about helping yourself, helping other people, and, anything you can do. I'm a writer. It's how I do it. So that's how I do it. Like, write it out, share the info, share the love. So, yeah, very exciting, very happy. And, hopefully it's received well and people get something from it and it helps them. That's what I care about. And I'll keep going with it. Whatever I learn in school, I want to share that, and maybe more books come out of it, and that would be great. But really, I want to share what I'm learning with everybody and just live my life with that, because it's cool stuff and it's helpful. People need it. People need it, and that's the thing. They need it. I need it. I definitely need it. I'm a human, and I need it for sure.
Oh yeah, that's right indeed. Yeah, because of everything going on, it feels like, oh, all right, yay, life is full of setbacks. Oh yeah, we could set them up for a comeback. You got
Definitely.
here's some
Yeah.
more
See,
setback for you.
I know. It's so I feel like it just ever since I feel like there's a lot of things, but my like defining moment was COVID. It's like COVID just kind of was like, really? Is this happening now? And now here we go. So yeah, I feel like we are all responsible for our happiness and our joy, and to share it and to do the best we can, and our mental health. We got to take care of that. That I'm huge about. Take care of your mental health. It leads to happiness. I'm sure happiness is important. That's Five Happy Choices came out of, and me having that struggle with mental health, like I always have, just being down and having anxiety and things because of what's going on in the world. But yeah, you've got to make choices and you've got to work on it, and it's not easy. But you know what, and people say this to me all the time, and I believe that it's true. Whenever I am a human and I get stressed and frustrated by something, they say, nothing worth it is easy. You've got to put the work in, and through the work you learn and grow. But absolutely, our mental health, our happiness, our joy, our birthright to feel good while we're here alive. I think we need to work on that. We work on everything else, right? We work at our job to get money. We work on our family to build relationships. We work on, our dinner. We put our dinner together and make sure it comes out good, right? We work on all these things. What about our mental health? We got to work on that. That's important. So that's kind of what I believe is the key, is like, we got to feel good, deal with the things we got to deal with. It's not, we're not going to feel good all the time, and that's totally normal. That's not real either. But we got to work on ourselves. It's important to us and our families and our life.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about indeed. That's what I'm talking about indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And what I love about the book is that you mentioned that apparently happiness can grow over time, so it's actually a
Mm-hmm.
tree.
It is a tree. It can grow. It is compounding. And it is actually a learned, you can learn to access it. That's kind of what I focus on, was like, okay, it's here. I say, everybody says that, oh, you're happy and that's your natural state and it's your birthright and it's within you. And that is true. And it sounds great, but how do I get to it? How do I get to it? You got to peel back the onion and peel back all the pieces, and you have to do things, take action and do things. But you're right, it grows. The more that you access that feeling, it's more than a feeling, it's a state of being, which means that you can be sad and you can be angry and you can be frustrated and you can be happy. You can have a happy, joyful feeling and know, I'm grieving right now, or I'm going through something right now, and I'm going to get back to happy. I think the problem is we get stuck in those negative feelings. And actually, that's really, really unhealthy, not just mentally, but physically. So you're absolutely right. That compounding joy, that compounding happiness, learning to access it regularly, making it a habit, it becomes natural, your natural state. And I find that, I still go through all the emotions in life like everybody else, and I always will. And I don't want that to ever go away. I want to be human and well rounded in my emotions. But I also want to know that I can get back to happy. And I can't figure it out in the moment how to do that. I have some choices I can make, to dip into that. But for sure, you want to know that it's there for you. And I do always feel that feeling underneath it all. There's layers of different things, right? Like there's I have a layer of sadness for some grief I experience, but I do have a layer of joy that's always there. And the more you tap into it, the more you will feel it always there for you. And it's important to know you can get back to that.
Ah, that's what I'm talking about indeed. That's what I'm talking about, indeed. So, out of curiosity, how was it like with the transition from writing fiction, thriller novels to this wonderful self-help nonfiction? How was the transition for that?
So that's a great question. There are two things. It was more difficult in some ways and easier in other ways. Writing it was easy for me because that's my natural state. I've written my whole life more using my kind of left brain, and I'm a left brain person. So actually writing thrillers and writing fiction was a challenge for me, a big huge challenge craft wise, and I had to do a lot of work on the craft piece of that, also on being able to have confidence, because it was fun. It was kind of like a fun thing to do. For this was a passion of, project of my heart. It was easier for me to do because not only did I believe in it 100 million% and I knew the education and the skills to do it. It was a leap of faith in my confidence, and like that question we may ask ourselves at times: who am I to do this? Who am I to write this book? So we have to get over those hurdles. That's your self-critic, your inner critic talking. And I think, I that was a leap of faith for me, and I was a little terrified to put it out there, but I thought, you know what, the intention of this book is to do good, whether it sells or not. That wasn't my goal. My goal isn't about that. My goal is like, do the work you're intended to do, right? And this was the work I was intended to do, and put it out there and see what happens. Whatever happens with it happens. And I've actually redefined success as an author, and it's not about sales. It's not about any of that stuff, rankings. I don't stress about that anymore. Whatever happens, I'm so grateful for and thankful. My success is in finishing the book. When I can type the end and it's done and I'm proud of it, that's success for me. I'm proud of this thing I did. I put it out there and I move on, because I feel like anything else is not a positive experience, because you're trying to control the uncontrollable, and that you cannot do. So it was definitely easier to write, harder to put out in the world. It's also, it has personal stories in there. It's exposing myself a little bit, my vulnerabilities as a human. I'm a pretty private person, even though I'm a public person. But I felt it was important to share certain things that I thought might connect me with people that might be going through something similar, and it might help them. And it's real life stuff we all go through. And I wanted to share, so those are the things that you just have to, that was a growth opportunity for me. Definitely. And I feel like it helped, because I know people have absolutely, a lot of my book was stemming from, COVID-19 definitely sparked the need to write it. But a lot of what I was going through was a grief situation. And people grieve, people lose people all the time. And that's, and especially during COVID, right? So yeah, it was absolutely a growth and development. And I'm so glad I did it. And I will continue to, to focus on that going forward for sure.
Yeah. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. Yeah, because I was wondering, because the thing is, it's like sometimes folks write a bunch of nonfiction books and they'd be like, oh yeah, maybe I should write a kid's book, or maybe try to write a novel. And rarely, well, then again, at least from an outside looking in, rarely you see folks in the fiction realm going to nonfictional. This is some kind of memoir or something like that.
That is so true. And it's funny because I feel like I was always meant to write nonfiction, because my education in psychology, my education in coaching, what I do, I write all the time. And language and writing and communication by writing has always been something that's easy for me and something I enjoy. But I think I picked fiction. I always pick something challenging because I love story, and I challenge myself with story. So I think I took on fiction as a challenge, and something to challenge myself and to learn. And also at that time, looking back, I was writing thrillers, which I love reading and watching, and all of any way story can be told. I was going through stuff that needed to be expressed in a dark way, and I used thrillers to do that. When I finally gained the confidence to move over to self-help and nonfiction. Again, all of my life, everything I've done has been more on this side of the world. It's been more on self-help and helping others and inspiring others in life, and writing this kind of stuff, not published, but this has always been me, right? This is like natural for me. I made the leap because my life had turned in a way that I was over that hump. I had done a lot of introspection through my coaching program over the course of a year. I also took an entire year-long course in happiness studies, which was the science of well-being, and so got certified in that. So things shifted for me, and I thought, like, this is where I am today. You have to meet yourself where you are today. I was not this person 10 years ago. We're never going to be the same person. We're always evolving, right? So 10 years ago, I was in a different place. Even 5 years ago, I was in a different place. And so I'm at the place I am now. It's not that I don't like thrillers and I will never write them again, but like where I am right now, I have to take advantage of. And like, this is where my energy is right now. And that's why I felt like this is my comfort level, my experience, anything I've done educationally supports this kind of writing. I think writing fiction was a leap for me, and that was a huge challenge, and I enjoyed it and love it, and I still do. But who I am, it's not about, oh, I need to show up like this because this is what's popular. This is who I am. This is who I've always been. Anybody in my life that's known me my whole entire life, I've been the person that my friends have called when they've had a problem. I've been somebody who's working on myself all the time. I want to understand the human behavior. I want to understand how the mind works. Like, this is just part of who I am. So it actually, for me, was very natural. I just think when you're a public person, making that kind of a leap, like you said, isn't normal to readers. And they're like, well, wait a minute, you were just writing thrillers. Now you're writing self-help. Like, where did that come from? And I think that I had to connect the dots. And so here's what I did. When I started writing nonfiction and started exploring it, I recognized this isn't much different than my thrillers. And here's why. My thrillers were confronting things that we're afraid of. We are dealing with challenges and obstacles. We are trying to metamorphose our characters into people who have learned and grown and changed in whatever way. We are finding courage. We are finding clarity on what we really want. We are doing all these things as characters. And because I had the background I had in psychology and coaching and all of that, I thought, this is what I've been trying to do all along in fiction. I can do this in nonfiction and help people. So I think my thrillers do that in a way from an entertainment perspective, but I think my nonfiction does it in a very direct way from an educational, perspective, hopefully. And it's backed in scientific research, and I continue to build upon that and use more scientific research now that I'm in a PsyD program learning all of that stuff. So yeah, it's a great question, because you do see like, hey, everybody's into self-help now. Well, I happen to see that because that's what I'm into, but I feel like, no, that's really who I am. It's who I've always been. I think the fiction was the leap of faith for me.
Yeah. That's right, indeed. There are bunny ears involved, indeed. That's right, indeed.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, indeed. That's right, indeed. And the scientific research, that's right, folks, because Kristina's going to be a doctor soon, y'all. That's right. I got to call her Dr. Kristina, Dr. K. That's right, Dr. Special K, y'all. That's right.
I love that. That could be my like tagline. I love that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, however I can help. It's going to take me a while, but I'm getting there. One class at a time. That's all I can do.
Oh, yeah. That's right, indeed. And then that'll be the 6th happy choice, right?
That's it. 6th happy choice will come out. And then this could go on forever. I could do 6 to 10, 11 to 15.
Oh, yeah.
We'll keep going with it.
That's right, indeed. Well, speaking of happy choices, since there's 5, is there any one that probably sticks out more than the others? That's probably, I guess, that would kind of be the foundation of the rest of the 5.
That's a great question. I think I'm going to pick the one I think that's easiest to implement, because I think that they're all easy enough. But the one that is something that I think is easy for everybody to do, we've all heard of this before, we know what it is, we know how we practice it or we don't, is gratitude. I think gratitude is the basis for everything. If you are grateful for what you have in life, for who you are in life, for your life, for everything and anything, the gratitude is the basis for really building upon. It's easy to practice. All you have to do is say thank you. And you don't have to say it out loud. And I do this often. And I do this when I'm driving. I do this when I'm in the supermarket. I do this. And I thank for everything. Thankful for, a safe ride to wherever I'm going. Thankful for The lights, electricity, whoever invented that, you're thankful for who invented electricity, who invented air conditioning, that I have heat. I am thankful for the roof over my head. I am thankful for the air that I breathe, that I am healthy and psychologically and physically and all of those things. I just think being grateful and saying thank you to people out loud, but also just in your mind, like, thank you for, you could thank the universe. You could thank, if you, whatever that God force is for you, and that universal force, that energy, you can thank for everything you have, who you are, your life, the people in your life, anything you're grateful for. It could be anything. Like I said, I often am thankful for things that are just automatic, that we take for granted, but I truly am grateful for them. And practicing that, whether it's doing it when you first wake up or doing it when you go to bed or having a journal. I mean, it really, there is no like secret magic way. I think the magic way for me is just saying thank you. And it's not always out loud to a person. It's just for my life. I'm thankful, I'm healthy, I'm thankful for everything. So that, I think, is the basis, because it's easy to do. And when you feel it, when you truly feel it, it's not just about saying it, it's about feeling it. When you truly feel it in your heart and you are grateful for everything you have, it radiates, and you're able to take action and do the other choices, and you're able to be the other choices, because you're coming from a place of, happiness in gratitude. And gratitude and happiness go hand in hand. They are connected, very closely connected. And, to feel happy, it's as simple as being grateful, and easy to do. If you think about it, you are grateful, for so many things. It's just recognizing that and focusing on that. And our brains work in a way that whatever we're focusing on is enhanced and is multiplied. And so it's not even, yes, there's law of attraction, and many people believe in that. And I am a say follower of law of attraction. I know there are laws working in the universe, right? But even put that aside, your brain is going to see the things that you tell it to see. And when you're grateful, your brain is going to see more of those things. And so that is neuroscience. It is the way it works. And so, think of it this way. You play a little test with yourself and you say, hey, I'm really interested in, the next car I want to buy is going to be a red sports car, right? And I want a red sports car so badly. When you leave your house, you're going to see a million red sports cars, because your brain is like, I'm looking for a red sports car now, and I'm going to find it for you. And it's appearing to you. And it's not magic. It is really about your brain being aware, super hyper aware of things. And so if you're grateful, you're going to be super hyper aware of what to be grateful for, and it's going to reinforce that for you. The flip side is, if you're not grateful or you're negative, which we all are at times, because we're human and it's okay. But if you get in a loop of living in a negative place, your brain is going to look for things to be negative about. It's going to see them and it's going to reinforce it. And your brain's going to go, oh, we're in a negative place right now. Okay, let me look for that. So it's really important to make sure that, we are taking action, even if it doesn't feel comfortable at first. We're taking action to basically rewire our brain in some sense as to what we're seeing, absorbing, experiencing. Because if we have a choice, this is the way I see it. I have a choice. I can choose to focus on negative. I can choose to focus on positive. This does not mean I'm toxically positive and all I'm seeing is positivity. I see reality, right? But if I choose to show up in the world with a focus on gratitude and love and happiness, and look for the good in things and assume innocence and try to understand and have empathy, then I'm feeling good. And my life experience is happier. Why wouldn't I do that? Why would I choose to either be unconscious about it and make no choice and just let whatever happened to me and then go through life kind of in a fog, not really experiencing anything? Or why would I choose to keep complaining about things over and over again and not getting anywhere and then really being miserable? And these are things that I know don't seem like they're in your control, but they are. And it's a matter of like one step at a time. Like, don't worry about, being the master of gratitude and, being sitting there and writing journals all day long. Like, don't even think about that. You just think about taking one step. What can I be thankful for in this moment? I am thankful for right now in this moment. I'm thankful for this experience I have with you. I'm thankful for my positive energy. I'm thankful for the light in my home. I'm thankful for the roof over my head. Thankful for my health. There's a million things and I feel them in my heart. And I think you just take one thing and start with the one thing and build upon it. And it literally becomes a part of who you are. I also, which is kind of silly, but I'll share this because I feel like it's a little bit of my mom and who she used to be, but I've adopted. But I will go out like driving. It's easy to get frustrated when driving. A lot of people do. And I used to be that person, not road rage, but I would get annoyed. And now I don't do that anymore. I'm just there for the ride. Like I get there when I get there, whatever will be, will be. But I literally I will go out and I will look at the cars and the people and I will send good vibes to them. Like I will be blessing them. And that's my way in my head. Like, hoping all the best for them. Like I hope, I send out like these good energy, this positive vibes, like and thanking them for driving safely and kind of sending good vibes to them. They don't know me. They don't know I'm doing it. I'm not doing it out loud, but I do it in my head all the time because I feel like I want to give that, and that feels good to me. And so I feel like when I do that, I'm putting out positive energy. And what is wrong with that? You don't know the person that cut you off, which is frustrating, is rushing to the hospital to see their family member who's sick. I've been there. I've done it to people and I apologize. I've been panicked trying to get to see my mom in the hospital. I don't know if the person just got fired and is an emotional wreck. Like you don't know what's going on. And I'm definitely not saying you should just, let go of bad behavior. Like bad behavior should be ignored. But my point is when you're walking through life, isn't it easier to assume the good and give out the good and like whatever's going to be is going to be? I think you deserve that. I think you deserve a happy life. Every single person listening and watching and beyond deserves a happy life. And if we can give a little bit of that to ourselves, no matter what is happening that we cannot control, because we cannot, we try, but we can't. We can control ourselves. I can control when I wake up in the morning, how I approach my day. I can control saying I'm sorry if I did something to hurt somebody. I can control how I choose to speak and behave. I can control it. So let's do that and let's feel good. I feel like gratitude is the start of it all.
Oh yeah, that's right indeed. That's right indeed. The start of it all indeed. Helps you to do and be. Oh, that's right indeed. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. That's freaking amazing. That's the great mindset to have, blessing all the other cars on the road. That's right, because some folks may be like, I want to bless them with this bat real quick, just give them a piece of my mind, but
Yeah,
hey.
people do. And you know what? It is probably more common. And I honestly think that we assume the worst. I think as it's just humans, because we have so much stress in our lives and everything going on, we assume the worst of everybody, and you got to turn it around. Assume the best, assume innocence. It doesn't mean, that people shouldn't be held accountable for their behavior and that they shouldn't do things to change their behavior. Like, that doesn't mean any of that. All it means is if you're going through life, you don't know this person, you're never going to see them again, and they annoy you, why put yourself in a bad place? You don't deserve. Don't let that change who you are. Don't let it affect you. It's like you're giving. I look at it this way. We don't have control over things, but we absolutely have the control to give our power away. Why would you give the power of your happiness over to somebody else? Don't allow it. You do not allow it. Nobody has the power to control how you feel except you. So you decide that I'm not going to allow that. Yes, you did something that annoyed me. I'm letting it go. I'm moving on. It's not worth your happiness. You let them take that away from you. They don't even know they did it, but you allowed them to do it. Don't allow that. So yeah, it's like I do it selfishly because I want to feel good and be happy, because I know when I feel good and I'm happy that I can be a good person, a happy person to the people that I love. And when I don't feel good and I'm not happy, they're not getting the best version of me. And that's part of being human, and that's okay. But it's not the way I want to live most of my life. Like I want to live most of my life being able to show up in a good way because I did the work and I was aware, and grateful. So it's a choice. It's a choice. It's not, going to happen overnight, but you just make those choices every day.
Yeah, that's right indeed. Every day indeed. Every day indeed. And I know getting better day by day is what you love to do. So my goodness, so since you probably been about a year, almost exact to the day
I
of
think
this
so.
recording,
Hmm.
like, has there been any skills that you've been polishing up over the past 12 months or so to better yourself, your writing, or heck, even something else you may not even think of?
Yeah, that's a great question. Over the past year, I have, okay, so I am a workaholic. As it's not, if it's not aware, if you guys aren't aware of that yet by looking at everything I always have on my plate, I have made it a priority to have boundaries. I've been working on my boundaries with a lot of things, with time. So there is a time and place for everything. And there are times I do not work, I do not do school, I do not do anything except be, whether it's relaxing and watching a show or being with my daughter or my husband or friends or whatever. Like I shut down at certain times every day and on the weekends. I have boundaries because I used to not have boundaries and it interfered in my life with everything because I was just wanting to always work. I'm a workaholic. And that's something I'm working on and I'll always work on. And I know it, I need to prioritize rest and relaxation. The other thing I did was I decided to take my love for wellness to the next level and enrolled in a PsyD program, which I'm very grateful I can do at my own pace. I can do over time. It's going to take me a very long time to get my doctorate in health and wellness psychology, but that's okay. I'm not in a rush. And everything I'm learning, I want to share because I feel like, okay, I'm getting the education and I'm doing the work, but that doesn't mean that other people can't benefit from what I'm learning. And so I really want to share what I'm learning as I go through this program. And what the way I'm doing that is a lot of the work I've done has been directly related to mental health, health and well-being. And so the pieces I feel like that are really helpful to people, I will be sharing via video with my newsletter group. I will share those specifics with them. I think I'll probably eventually start sharing that with others, but I think at least for those people who are on my VIP email list, I want to share with them the most important things I'm learning and the scientific research behind it so that they can get the benefits right away as I'm learning them. Because I think that there are some things that I just don't want to wait, 3 years to write a book and share. And maybe will become a book, but it's not kind of my goal isn't about the book per se. I think the goal is about sharing the information with people that it can help in any way that it can help them. And so that's kind of what I've learned. It's like we're here, it's not an individual life experience. I'm here to interact and connect with people and to give my best. And so part of that is sharing my gifts, whatever they are. Even if my gift is a gift of education that I have, I'm learning something, let's share that. And I truly believe, we all have these goals. Like I want to, okay, a lot of authors, I want to be a number one New York Times bestseller, or I want the agent of my dreams, or I want a movie to be made. Like those goals for me have changed. And my goal is I'm going to do what I'm inspired to do to the best of my ability and be proud of. And whatever happens with it, happens with it. Like it is not up to me. I'm not controlling that anymore. I'm going to do my best. I will be on amazing podcasts like yours to share my voice and my message. And whatever it does, it does. And if it helps one person, then I've been successful. I think that is what I'm coming at life. I guess this is the culmination of what I'm trying to say. I'm coming at life with a different goal. My perspective is about feeding my soul, feeding other people's souls, and that's it. And whatever comes of it, comes of it. Like it doesn't, not everything has to be business driven or a job, like some kind of a success in business driven. If you approach things with your passion and drive and love of something, whatever the greatest good of that is what will be. And I think we have to trust in that a little bit more than hunting down the thing that will give us the most success or exposure and stress ourselves out with hustling and all of these things. It's like, do what feeds your soul, do it to the best of your ability, do it well, educate yourself, take the steps, don't just dream, do the action that is needed. Like you have to do the work is required. It's not just going to magically happen. Make the connections and let the rest fall in place. It's called go with the flow for a reason, right? There's actually there are a lot of laws out there besides attraction that we're so familiar with. Law of resistance, law of, just like do not fight, let it go with the flow. Like that is real. That is a real thing that we energetically, When we just go with the flow and we go with what feels good and what's right, things happen. When we fight and go, oh, this book isn't selling and I'm not happy about that, I'm going to force it to be a #1 New York Times bestseller, which I don't know how we do that. But let's say there's a way to do that, and I'm going to manipulate as much as I can and hustle. And then it doesn't work. It never works. And it takes all your energy away. So the best thing to do is just kind of go, I did my best. I'm doing my best. A podcast comes my way, I'm jumping on that because that feels good. Something else comes my way, that doesn't feel right. I don't want to do that. Like, just go with the flow. You know your flow. We all have it, You follow that with your whatever your dream is. And that's what helps you rise. It's following that energy. And we often get caught up in like expectations of what we think success is or what we're supposed to do. But that's not you and your life. Your life is unique and spectacular and important, and that you follow your next step, whatever that is. So I know I kind of went off on a tangent, but I feel like that's what I've learned. And I think that makes life for me happier because I'm doing what works for me, not what other people think I should do.
Oh, yeah, sounds good. That's what I'm talking about, indeed. It's right indeed, it's right indeed, it's right indeed. Make sure it feels good indeed. And speaking of good, food usually makes people feel good. So if you're wonderful book, 5 happy choices. If it was a food, what would it be and why?
Oh, it would be pizza. I love pizza. I'm Italian. I'm from New Jersey. I'm going to put it out there. I love my pizza, but it would be pizza because there are so many pieces to the pie, right? Happiness can be like a pie, and each slice could be a choice you make. But there's also layers, which I like. There's layers of food, right? There's sauce and cheese and toppings. And I think that's true about happiness. There's layers of choices that can be made and things you can do. And in my book, it's not just about like, I made a choice, I'm done. It's like, there's questions you ask yourself, there's actions you have to take, there's follow-up, like there's things that you do that reinforce the choices you've made. And then the more you do them, it's a habit. So yeah, pizza would be it, because for me, pizza is there's lots of pieces to the pie. You can cut it even tinier and make more pieces. And there's lots of layers. And I think happiness looks like that. There's a lot of compartments to it. There's a lot of layers. And it's, something I would eat every day for the rest of my life. I know that's me. That's my choice.
Well, it's a darn good choice indeed. That's right, indeed. Oh, the chewy goodness. All the pep. All the cheese. That's right.
I love it.
Right. That's right, indeed. That's right, indeed. Well, we're coming down to the magical question that every guest gets to receive, but for round 2.
I forgot it the first time. Let's see. It'll be new to me.
Oh, don't worry. It's a different question. You won't even see this one coming. So you're basically called to give the last speech of your life, and you're given 90 minutes to give it, but your entire audience is all 8 billion people on Earth. What would the main message of that speech be, and what would the main points of that message entail?
That's a great question. I would say, and this is from my heart and what just spoke to me when you said that, I would say live your life leading with love. Lead with love. This is so important. Everything you do, lead with love in mind. I think the majority of the problems we have in this world would be gone if we led with love. And I think we could solve a lot of our issues leading with love. With love. Love in mind. Love and empathy and compassion, they all go hand in hand. But when I say love, I mean that the most positive energy in the universe is love. The opposite of love is fear. Fear is the most negative energy, and there's a lot of things that go with that, but you lead with love. I think we lead with fear a lot. And when we lead with fear, we do damage on so many levels. Everything that we have going wrong, I think, is from a place of fear, if you dive down psychologically, right? But love, lead with love, whatever that means to you. And we can, have many seminars on this, 8 billion people, but I would say you lead with love. And every day, if you have a choice when you're leaving your house in the morning, you go, am I going to lead with fear or lead with love? And when you do something, ask yourself, am I acting out of fear or am I acting out of love? How am I acting? What is this choice I'm making? I think you lead with love. That's my message.
Boom, there you go. Mic drop, baby.
Mm-hmm.
The LWL, baby. That's right indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Right indeed. Labor the love, y'all. That's right indeed. All the hearts. That's right. All the
Everything.
Cheerio hearts. That's right.
Mm-hmm. The
That's
Cheerio hearts.
right.
That's it. That's the secret to happiness, the secret to life. That's it. I just gave it to you. The secret. Lead with
That's
love.
right.
That's my secret. That's my secret. That's my secret.
There you go. Remember, her name's Kristina, not Victoria, y'all. She gave you the secret. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right
That's
indeed.
right.
All the law of attraction, y'all. That's right indeed.
Everything. Just love. Very simple. And it doesn't have to be anything big. It could just be a kind word or, again, assuming innocence or anything. It's just, that's what I think. We start with that and go from there. That's why it's lead. Lead.
Oh, yeah. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. So for those that need to keep in contact with you and join the VIP list and get all the wonderful emails, the wonderful decorative emails, what's the best way for folks to do so?
KristinaRienzi.com. You can sign up for my email list right there. It's free. It's packed with information. I send it out about once a month, sometimes more if I have information to share. But yeah, it's just going to be updates and inspirational information. And now what I'm learning in school, I want to share specific to health and wellness, psychology, and mental health. If that's of interest to you and you would like to focus on that in your life, that is what you'll get from me. And it's all free. It's just an email, and you can, a lot of them are videos you can watch or not. But I would love to have you in my community and can keep you in the loop and connect.
Woohoo! That's right, indeed. The KIP, baby. That's right. Keep you in the loop, y'all. That's right, indeed.
Mm-hmm.
So head over to Kristina's lovely site. Sign up for her email list. It's good stuff indeed, y'all. That's right. And buy some copies of both of her books. They're available in all the forms, y'all. That's right. Got the paperback, got the wonderful Kindle for the ebook, and then we got the audiobook as well. And she's got some wonderful actors and actresses, y'all. That's right, indeed. Who are doing both of them. That's right. So she's got you covered like a blanket, y'all. So good stuff indeed. So there's no excuse, baby. You can have Kristina on the go. It just may sound a little different.
Right. It's going to sound like Leslie Howard, but she's great. I like her voice. But I'll be there. It's my words. It's her voice, her beautiful voice. You'll love listening to. I know she drew me right in. And I love it. And audiobooks are great because you can listen to them over and over again. When you forget, listen again. When you need a boost, listen again. It's just one of those things that you that always is there for you.
Yeah, it's true. Because Leslie did freaking great. Finished the audiobook yesterday, finally, and it was freaking good. It's good stuff indeed.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
That's
it's
right
good.
indeed.
I love her voice. Very soothing. Excellent.
Oh, yeah. A 5-star chick, that wonderful lady right there. 5 stars indeed. That's right indeed. So any parting words before we close up shop, Kristina?
Oh, thank you for having me. First of all, I'm so grateful to be here with your audience. I love your show. I love everything you share. I have to give you like 100 million stars and likes and all that stuff. But yeah, just, you know what? Take care of yourselves out there. I know life is tough. I know the world has some, negative stuff coming at us, and just make sure you take care of yourself. Focus on your mental health, focus on your happiness, do whatever that is that you can do for that. And put yourself first. You're important and you're worth it. And, your happiness and health, mental health is number one. And that's what I want for everybody. I want them to put themselves first and take care of themselves.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. The one listening right now. Thanks a bunch for sharing some of your time out of your day to listen to this podcast. To take it to the next level, be sure to share it with someone that you care about and that would get something out of this podcast too. Advance others to advance yourself.